Hey guys, welcome back to Talking with JoJo, where we go over what's really going on. And I'm super sorry, guys. I have been MIA this last week. I had such a bad case of the flu, and it was taking me down. I'm weak. I'm tired. I'm actually still a little tired now, but I'm feeling good enough where I was like, oh, I haven't been on to see you guys in so long and bring you guys any updates. So I did research because there wasn't much else I could do. I was so sick. And I got to tell you, there's been some interesting developments in the Diddy case, especially since the Peacock documentary came out. And then put this picture up here of him, because if I was him, I'd be like, whoa, myself. So we're going to get to that stuff, but first we're going to talk about something that's very, very interesting. Biggie Smalls. Okay, so we all know the story of Biggie Smalls and the East Coast, West Coast rap beef. West Coast was basically the Bloods and the Crips were New York, and those were the two rival gangs, and Biggie was on the New York side, Tupac was on the LA side, but apparently they were friends. But Diddy wasn't friends with Tupac, at least not in that way, and Biggie wasn't friends with Suge. So there's been a lot of talk, especially since the docuseries this week, as to why Biggie was even at that party in the first place. So Gene Deal, who was Diddy's bodyguard from 2001 to 2005, had this to say about the week Biggie was unalived. So according to Gene, the week in which Biggie was unalived, he was just acting real anxious, meaning Puffy, Sean, and trying to get Big at this party. And that what was crazy was Big was telling people he had to be in London, but Puff was telling people he ain't going to London that whole week. Really strange, right? So you would think if Sean had to change Biggie's plans that week, he would have communicated that to him. But Puffy's saying one thing to people, and Biggie's saying, no, I ain't going to no party. I'm going to London. So, which was it? Well, obviously, Sean got his way because he went to the party. So apparently before this party, Gene gets some inside information from his sources. And he goes to Sean and says this. I say, yo, Puff, I got some intel, bruh. He said, what? I said, yo, man, if we go to this party tonight, one of us gonna get unalived. Somebody gonna unalive. Because now we at East Coast, West Coast beef. He said, yo, Gene, I don't want to hear that shit. So we all jump in the car. I was in the car with Puff. Big was in his own car. And the next thing you hear is pow, 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 pow. I was shocked. I didn't know he was supposed to be in London during this week. Did you guys? Never heard this before. Thought it was super interesting. But now it makes me question. There was rumors at the time that Biggie was going to leave Bad Boy Records and start his own label. Was this anybody's way of stopping that from happening? Again, these are all allegations and for entertainment purposes only, but it does really make you think, right? So Diddy's attorneys are pulling out all the stops about these alleged special parties that are known as freak-offs. And they put in numerous court filings, and there's just one here that I'm going to go over really quick, that state that these parties, otherwise known as freak-offs, were not illegal. Everybody was consenting. The videos will prove it. There's no celebrities in them. And victim number one was seen enjoying herself in one of the videos. So to say that these parties were trafficking or these women were coerced is just not true. How could it be true? Everybody consented. Remember I told you guys about those 70 to 90-year NDAs at the beginning of all this? I bet he had those in place. I just don't understand how he really even thinks none of this was illegal, but I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. He is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, but there's a lot of talk about this. And what I don't like about this is Cassie is now being made to look like she was having a good time. And we all know, we all saw the video of what really happened to her in the hotel hallway. So to even go there, defense, I mean, I guess you have to because it's your job, but I would bet money that she wasn't enjoying much. So basically, Diddy's attorney says that you have to characterize the definition of these freak offs. So the premise that the freak offs were inherently dangerous shows that the government seeks to police non-conforming estual activity, and that it assumes, despite all evidence to the contrary, that a woman's willing participation must have been coerced. Like, they're really throwing some big, big accusations at the government. Can this help Diddy? Possibly. It depends on what's actually in those tapes, what those footage really states, and what also that they found. Like, if they found paraphernalia and things like that in the house, like, I mean, this is like a good try, but I don't know. There's so much evidence. Just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. And the other big filing that the defense team made was that they searched Diddy's cell unlawfully. So they are trying to, Diddy's defense is trying to state that the government acted with prejudice against Diddy by actually having this whole raid. And according to the government, this was planned for months. So upon a defendant's request, the government must permit the defendant to inspect and to copy data that is within the government's possession, custody, or control, and that is material to preparing the defense. So that's the federal rule of criminal procedure. So the federal government takes pictures of this stuff, but they don't take it because it is his right to prepare for his defense. So, like I said, there's just a lot of crazy allegations being thrown around, not to mention the civil lawsuits. There's dozens of those, dozens. So that's basically it in the Diddy update for right now. I can't really think of anything else more I could tell you, except it's getting crazier by the day. And every YouTuber I've watched in the last week or so has said May 2025, with everything that's still coming forward and more that is to come forward, because now they're even investigating him for Tupac. Keefe D has come out and said that he was paid $1 million to ensure the unaliving of Tupac by Diddy. So there's so much going on. Like, Tupac's family is investigating this, and I know we've discussed this in our lives before. This case could go anywhere anytime soon. It could go from RICO to unaliving. I mean, the vast outreach this guy has is enormous. It's bigger than any of us ever knew. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm back. I look forward to seeing you all on my next live. It will be soon, that I promise. And please follow me on my other social media sites. I'm going to be posting them up there. I'm doing some work on some other platforms as well. But my heart's always with my TikTok peeps, because you guys are my peeps. And hopefully, I'll see you soon. So please like, follow, share, subscribe, do all the things. We'll talk again.